I want to take a moment tonight and talk again about stand your ground laws. I did a video about them the other day. I wanted to talk a little bit more about it tonight. Now, the main thing I want to talk about is how I think people are focusing completely on the wrong issue with stand your ground laws. Stand your ground laws, like I said before, aren't a problem. They haven't really increased the amount of people that are shooting in self-defense. All they're doing is protecting people from civil liability after they're found innocent when they do shoot someone. But what I want to really address now is the defense you keep hearing from people, like when they say things, ridiculous things like, oh, my son was just a burglar, he wasn't a killer, he wasn't meaning them any harm. Or, oh, my son's mugged 30 people before and he's never hurt any of them, the gun wasn't even loaded. You hear ridiculous arguments like that. You hear arguments that are victimizing or demonizing the victim. They're turning the victim into the monster in this situation. This person attacked him and didn't really mean him any harm. He just wanted his money and he shot him. It's taking away that person that is victimized their right to assume that if someone's committing a crime against them, that they mean them harm. If someone breaks into my home, I don't want to have to go down and have to do a questionnaire of what his intent is before I'm able to defend myself. I want to be able to just defend myself. And that's what stand your ground laws help. They help with that. They tell you, if someone's doing something illegal, and they are a threat to you, and they still have to be a threat to you. You don't just get to shoot anyone. Now, I don't agree with some of the laws that allow you to just shoot over property unless you are actually feeling threatened. But, that's a different topic. I would never shoot anyone stealing my car. If they want to steal my car, I'm going to be like, woohoo, I'm overinsured. And then I'm just going to go in the house and decide whether I think it's too much to tell the insurance company that I had, 2 original Van Goghs in my trunk, or should I just stick to one so that I don't set off any alarms. So I'm really not going to shoot anyone over property. But if someone breaks into my house, I don't care if they've done it 30 times before and never harmed anyone. If someone sticks a gun at me, sticks a gun in my ribs in the park and says, give me your wallet, I don't care that they've never shot anyone before or that the gun's not even loaded. I'm not going to take the time to know that. I'm going to deal with the situation. I don't know that person. So trying to pretend like the person that's being victimized should know that person, that's ridiculous. So instead of focusing on the fact that, oh, my son's done this 30 times, he's never hurt anyone, or my son's mugged people before and he's never hurt anyone, my son's not a violent criminal, he's just a criminal, focus on the fact your son's a criminal. Focus on the fact that your brother or your brother-in-law or your husband or whoever's doing it is a criminal. It's not the victim that's the criminal, it's your son, father, brother, whatever they are. They are the criminal. If they put themselves in a life of crime, it eventually catches up with them. Eventually, they run into the person who doesn't just intimidate and cower. They intimidate, they fear for their life, and they retaliate. They fight back. And they put themselves into that situation. The victim didn't ask them to come break into their house or ask them to come stick a knife in their ribs. Someone sticks a knife in my ribs in the park or comes at me with a knife or even a gun in the park. I'm not going to sit down and go, is it loaded? Is this really a good guy who doesn't really mean me any harm? So what? I'm going to fight back. So trying to pretend that it should be the other way around, that the victim should be the one having to evaluate the attacker and should have to decide whether that person really means them any harm or they're just pretending to mean them harm, that's a step that someone defending themselves should never have to go through. So when you're attacking stand your ground laws, why don't you think about it a little bit? Why don't you start placing the blame where it belongs with the criminals? You ain't even my real dad.